Hello, everyone. I welcome you to the second episode of Resilience Building series. In this episode, we will address this question: what really makes us resilient? And we shall do so through the story of Amit. But before we get on with our session today, let's take a quick recap of in our first session what we learned through the story of Amit. Amit, my client, and while we were embarking on a journey of self. That's my coaching program. Through that, I had assisted Amit first understand the basic concept of what really being resilient means, what, as per psychology, the term or the concept of resiliency is, and how can we really know how resilient we are so that we are tapping into our inner power and worrying less, living more. We have this life skill which gives us the ability to stay flexible and rebound from setback, challenges, and hardships when life presents that to us in different forms and at different spheres. To do so, in our first episode, I gave Amit the wheel of life, helping him getting to the specifics of which area of his life he lacked resiliency, because that would make it easier to narrow it down to the problem that he's been going through, and also to understand what are the gaps where exactly he felt he lacked resiliency power to really deal with those challenges. And to do so, we use the tool of Wheel of Life. If you would like to learn that, please go back to the episode 1 of this series and work along with me and Amit, and then come back to this session. Well, now back to the session. Today, I address, after having spent time understanding the gaps, I explained to Amit what really think will make you resilient. And he was also a bit curious to learn about it. So the way I address this particular question was making it a little bit more simpler, because as I mentioned earlier, resiliency is a very huge topic. It really touches on every aspect of our life. So I asked Amit, let me give you three main key components that makes you resilient, and you need to tell me how well you're doing there. So these are those three components. And when I asked this, when I was working with Amit with some set of questions, uh, they were basically revolving around these three main components. Now, friends, I would also want you to, if you're learning along with me and Amit, please pause this video here, grab a pen and a paper, and what I'm about to share, please work along so that you also get to learn what really makes you resilient. Each one of us have our own unique journey. So even though these components apply to all of us, some of us may be using one or the other in an imbalanced way, which is likely to be in most of the cases. So let's first understand these components and spend a few minutes here getting to them. And as I'm sharing all of this through the story of Amit, I asked Amit, tell me, how kind you are to yourself? So this is about being kind towards oneself, which really helps us build our inner power. And being kind here really means typically when we suffer, we fail, or we feel inadequate, how much do we really criticize ourselves, or how much do we offer kindness to ourselves? So there were some set of questions that I asked Amit, and he was a bit taken aback. And I'm sure you are too, if I ask you, during difficult times or challenges, how kind you are to yourself. pause this video and you also pause for a minute or so and answer this. Once you're done with that, let's get to the second other important component of what really makes us resilient, which is our self-determination. The power, the mental toughness, or a mental resource through which we are confident, we act out of our own choice, not really carried away by what people say or they have to say. Then the third component here is about the value we give to our life and our achievements. It's in a nutshell, it's about how much of self-worth do you attach and to your sense of self? How do you really perceive yourself? So when I asked these three components in shape of different questions to Amit, he really was a bit surprised and also curious that how he has been neglecting himself, because as he began to write the answers or reply to me, he realized how little of each of this he did in his real practical life. And no wonder he was stuck in the challenges, the issues of his life with the same set of recurring setbacks, and he was really not able to get out of his stress cycle. So friends, these are the core components that makes you your inner self. It gives you that power inside you, that mental energy, that toughness. And you have to practice these three components. And before you practice, which we will get to into our upcoming series, understand this as building blocks and ask yourself, how much are you really doing this? Because the more you practice this will add up to your resiliency muscle. And the more you don't, you know the answer. So through those questions, Amit understood that if he has to become the resilient Amit, he needs to understand how kind he is to his own self, specifically in tough and challenging times. How strong his will, his self-determination is, and if it is not, how can he make it? And how he perceives his own self, his worth. Does he go by the opinion people have of him or of the thoughts that were indoctrinated on him since his childhood? Or does he really value himself? This really makes him into a resilient Amit. So these were the core things that I gave him to ponder over, and I give you as well. If you find that you want to build your resiliency muscle and really want to understand what really makes us resilient. Finally, I would also like to share, I've recently written a blog post to be kind and to be resilient. This one, I have shared the link in the description box. This blog post, in that I share my experience here. It's not about Amit, it's from my life, where I share how this kindness helped me and how when I was not kind, I was also equally lacking in being resilient. So if you would like to read, the link is in the description box. You could go, it will redirect you to my blog space and you could read this blog post and you will have a lot more to learn in from there as well. So that's all for today. And I shall meet you in the next series along with Through the Story of Amit. Thank you.